shadows collide, hidden truths in the tide, a spark in the dark, it unfolds, no disguise. Light cracks the veil, it shows what's unseen now inside, what's unknown now, what's unseen now inside, what's unknown now, ignite. Illuminate, illuminate. Through the fog, the stars awake. Illuminate, illuminate. The path you seek, the steps you take.
Hey, this is Brindle Wolf.
And I'm Lunaria.
You're listening to Rise Awakenings, part of the Rise Radio Network where advice meets action.
We're here to spark your growth, lift your spirit, and help you crush your potential.
Rise awakening, hear the call. Through the shining, we break the wall. Your nation, your voice, where dreams awaken. Rise awakening, now is the dawn.
Rise Awakenings, let's rise together.
Hello and good morning, and sorry about the phone. Happy Friday, everybody. I'm so glad to be here on a Friday and at 11 and when people are awake. It's good to see everybody this morning. We're going to talk about trauma bonds once we finish our reading. And so let's just get into it, man, because that's what we're here for. All right, so your reading for today starts with the Four of Swords. This is your present situation. This is a knight resting on a stone slab, hands clasped in prayer, one sword beneath him and three hanging above him. Stained glass windows above him often depict a figure offering blessings, a reminder that peace is sacred and healing is divine work. Yes. Oh, trauma bonds. All right. The meaning behind this card is that this is the pause after chaos. The Four Swords says, rest before you wreck yourself. You've been through the ringer, emotionally, mentally, or spiritually, and this is your time to recharge. Your body and mind need stillness, not punishment. If you're single, you're likely still healing from a previous relationship. The universe is urging you to stop doom-scrolling exes and sit with your own heart for a bit. In relationships, you may need space from constant conflict or overthinking. Love cannot bloom without rest and reflection. If this reading is about a career, you might feel drained or uninspired at work. The Four of Swords encourages a mini retreat. Take a break before burnout sets in. You'll return sharper and more creative. In general advice, meditate, nap, unplug. Silence is not laziness, it's medicine. You're recalibrating before your next big leap. All right, next up In your challenge position, we have the Three of Cups in reverse. Imagery and symbolism on the Three of Cups is three women dancing joyfully in a circle, cups raised in the sky in celebration. Reverse, the music cuts out. Maybe the trust among them has soured, or the joy feels forced. There could be gossip, betrayal, or feeling excluded from your circle. Something about your community or friendships has turned heavy instead of uplifting. In love, a love triangle or emotional interference could be present. Too many people's opinions muddying what should be intimate. If single, you may be socializing but not connecting deeply. Everyone's playing pretend. In career, office politics, jealousy, or feeling undervalued could be blocking your creative flow. Watch for co-workers who smile in your face but whisper behind your back. In general advice, clean house, emotionally and socially. You don't have to dance with everyone who shows up to the party. Choose authentic connections over shallow ones. All right. The foundation or the root of the situation, you have the King of Cups. It's a serene king sitting on a stone throne surrounded by turbulent waters, yet his face is calm. A ship sails behind him, symbolizing emotional navigation or mastery. You've developed strong emotional intelligence, or you're being asked to. The King of Cups is emotionally mature, balanced, compassionate, and in control of his feelings, not ruled by them. If you're in love, this card favors a mature, understanding approach. Keep your emotions grounded. Passion with patience wins. Singles, this represents attracting or becoming someone emotionally stable and kind. In career, you may be called to lead or mentor others with empathy. Don't underestimate the power of emotional intelligence in business. People follow calm, compassionate leadership. Lead with your heart, not your triggers. You're being asked to embody grace and balance, even when the seas get stormy. All right. In your past, you have the Hangman in reverse. Normally, the hangman dangles upside down from a tree, glowing with divine understanding. Reverse, the enlightenment hasn't quite arrived yet, or is being resisted. You've been stuck in limbo, likely clinging to old patterns or refusing to see a situation from another angle. Resistance to change kept you hanging, but not evolving. You may have held on to someone or something long after it served its purpose. Or perhaps you've been waiting for someone to change while refusing to change yourself. It's time to cut yourself loose. Good morning, Micah. Good morning, Mish. Good morning, Lotus. All right, in career, stagnation or frustration waiting for something external to shift instead of taking initiative. Stop waiting for permission to move forward. You can't gain new perspective if you keep clinging to the old one. Let go and allow the universe to flip your view upside down. It's how the wisdom comes in. All right. For your conscious goal this week, we have the Four of Cups. This is a figure sitting under a tree, arms crossed, gazing at three cups before them, while a divine hand offers a fourth, completely unnoticed. Discontentment and apathy. You may be emotionally checked out or missing new opportunities because you're too focused on what didn't work out before. In love, you're bored, detached, or disillusioned. Someone could be offering you love or attention that you're refusing to see because your heart's still stuck in the past. You might be uninspired at work or ignoring new possibilities out of fear or fatigue. The universe is trying to hand you a fresh cup. Look up. Gratitude is your key. Shift your focus from what's missing to what's right in front of you. New emotional fulfillment is available once you stop sulking under that tree. All right, in the near future, we have Eight of Cups. A traveler walks away under the moonlight, leaving 8 neatly stacked cups behind. The missing 9th cup shows the emotional void that drives them onward. You're walking away from something emotionally unfulfilling, even if it once meant a lot. This is a soul-searching journey, finding what truly satisfies your spirit. In love, you may leave behind a relationship or emotional pattern that no longer aligns with your growth. It's bittersweet, but you're headed toward authenticity. In career, you're ready to leave a job or environment that drains you. You crave something that gives your work purpose again. Don't be afraid to leave behind what's familiar but stagnant. Sorry, I noticed somebody new come in the room. Hi, Jade. The unknown path is where you'll rediscover your spark, not your park. All right. In your current energy, we have the Ace of Cups. A divine hand emerges from the clouds, holding a radiant cup overflowing with water, love, emotion, or spiritual renewal. A dove descends, symbolizing peace and grace. You're ready for emotional renewal and heart awakening. After so much healing, release, and reflection, your cup is finally being refilled. New love, deeper emotional intimacy, or self love on a profound level. The heart is open again, but only this time to what's pure and reciprocal. In career, a new creative project or emotionally fulfilling direction is emerging. You're reconnecting with purpose and passion. The heart is the heart. Tongue tied again. Your heart is the compass now. Trust your intuition and let joy, creativity, and compassion guide your choices. All right, your current external influences. We have the Eight of Pentacles. A crescent hammers coins in repetition, focused, diligent, and dedicated to mastery. Each pentacle is progress in physical form. People around you admire your work, ethic, and growth. Hard work is starting to pay off, but there's still more to learn. Someone may want to work for your love, or you're putting effort into rebuilding a stronger emotional foundation. Effort and consistency will make love thrive. In career, apprenticeship, this is the apprenticeship energy. You're refining your skills, leveling up, and being noticed for your dedication. Keep it up. Mastery comes from discipline and devotion. Your persistence is shaping your future reality. All right. In your hopes and fears. All right. We have the 10 of Wands. A figure trudges forward, burdened by 10 heavy wands, struggling but determined to reach their destination. You fear being overburdened again, emotionally, professionally, or energetically. You've carried too much for too long. In love, you may fear relationships that feel like chores, not connections. Drop what isn't yours to carry. Love should not feel like labor. In career, you've taken on too many responsibilities or projects. Delegation is key. Carrying it all alone will burn you out. You don't have to prove your worth through exhaustion. Finish what's essential, but put the rest down. Freedom is in the release. All right. Last but not least, the outcome for the week. 5 of Pentacles. 2 very weary figures trudge through snow. But unaware that warmth and help are feeling of isolation, struggle, or financial emotional hardship. The lighted window reminds you you are not alone as alone as you think. Support is available if you reach for it. In love, you may feel abandoned, misunderstood, or left out in the cold. But this phase is only temporary. True love begins with self-compassion. Others can't fill that void for you. In career, financial struggles, or career setbacks might surface, but help or opportunities will emerge if you ask for support. Don't isolate, network. You're being stripped down to essentials so you can rebuild stronger. Don't let temporary hardship define you. It's the final purge before the fresh start. This spread is a story of emotional exhaustion leading to spiritual renewal. You begin in stillness in the 4 of Swords, discover betrayal or disconnection in the 3 of Cups reverse, and learned emotional mastery through the King of Cups. The Hangman reverse and 4 of Cups show resistance to change and emotional stagnation, but the 8 of Cups proves that you will walk away from what no longer fills your soul. The Ace of Cups brings new beginnings, while the 8 of Pentacles and 10 of Wands remind you that rebuilding takes effort, but you're nearing the end of the hardest part. The 5 of Pentacles assures that while this may feel lonely, it's not permanent. You're being reshaped into someone capable of deeper joy, peace, and purpose. Yes, that was a heavy load, Jade. All right, so this week, our homework card of the week is, okay, let me get back here. The Six of Swords. This Swords is about transition, healing, and emotional recovery. Go figure that this was the card that came out with that, along with that reading. TikTok is confirming. All right. In a classic Rider-Waite-Smith depiction, a small wooden boat glides quietly across a gray, still body of water. A hooded figure, often a woman, sits. This is the Four of Swords. Why am I holding up the Four of Swords? Where did my Six of Swords go? I said it. So there it is. Ha! Sorry about that. Here's the Six of Swords. I was like, that does not look right. All right. So anyway, a hooded figure, often a woman, sits haunched in the front while a boatman ferries her and a small child toward a distant misty shore. Six swords are stuck upright in the boat. Sharp reminders of pain, yet also tools of truth carried into the future. Behind them, the waters are choppy, the past turmoil, while ahead lies calm water, the promise of peace. The figures do not look back. The gray sky suggests the journey is neither easy nor quick, but it is necessary. It's the card of leaving what hurt you without fully understanding it yet, but knowing healing is somewhere ahead. In love, the Six of Swords often appears after a heartbreak, betrayal, or emotional burnout. It's the moment that you've cried all your tears and asked yourself, why me? And finally whisper to yourself, I just can't stay in this place any longer. This card doesn't necessarily mean a breakup, though it can, but it does signal emotional distance or detachment for survival's purpose. You may be learning to protect your peace by pulling back from the chaos. You're moving away from toxic or one-sided love towards something calmer and truer. If you're single, it shows that you're still healing from the past, not quite ready to dock at the next emotional harbor, but definitely sailing in the right direction. Let go gracefully. Sorry, my cat is coughing. Don't drag the old swords into your new relationship. Carry the wisdom, but not the wounds. Healing isn't linear, but each mile of calm water gets you closer to emotional balance. In career, professionally, the Six of Wands, you might be leaving a job, toxic team, or high-stress environment for something saner. Sorry. Still listening to the cat cough. This isn't a leap of reckless faith. It's a quiet, strategic shift to protect your mental well-being. This card can also suggest moving from confusion to clarity in your career goals. Perhaps finally understanding what kind of work truly fulfills you. If you're unemployed or uncertain, it's reassurance that things are improving. The storm is behind you. And while you may still feel uncertain about what's next, the direction is correct. Don't cling to situations that drain you. Peace of mind is worth more than any paycheck or title. Keep paddling. The shore ahead is calmer and more supportive. As a general energy, the Six of Swords is a card of mental recovery and emotional evolution. It's not about instant transformation. It's about taking slow, steady steps towards stability. You've survived something heavy, a breakup, a loss, burnout, trauma, and you're now in the in-between, not where you were, but not yet where you're going. It's a liminal space, the sacred gray area, where you rediscover yourself. You feel tired, numb, or uncertain, but this is your soul's decompression. Don't rush the healing. Let the waters carry you. Not every journey needs a map. This is your recovery arc and quiet redemption. You are allowed to float for a while before you flourish again. The swords in the boat are important. They represent the painful lessons you must take with you. Healing doesn't mean pretending nothing happened. It means carrying your truth forward without letting it sink you. The ferryman, often seen as a guide, ancestor, or higher self in this journey, reminds you that you're not making it alone. Unseen help is steering. This is a card of passage, out of sorrow, through transition, and into wisdom. The key words in this card are transition, emotional healing, recovery, progress, shadow side, escapism, avoidance, and carrying unhealed pain. Sometimes peace means walking away without closure. Your affirmation for the week: I am moving toward peace, even if I cannot see the shore yet. All right, so that will fall, as usual, very well into our discussion about trauma bonds. I felt like this was an important topic because I've been hearing a lot about people dealing with trauma bonds and witnessing a lot of people dealing with trauma bonds, including myself. So, we're going to talk about exactly what a trauma bond is. Have you ever looked back on a relationship and thought, why couldn't I just walk away, even though I knew that the relationship was breaking me? That isn't weakness, it's what they call a trauma bond. A trauma bond is what happens when pain and love become entangled. It's when your nervous system can't tell the difference between comfort and chaos. So it keeps trying to fix what hurts you, because deep down, it's trying to rewrite an old wound. We're going to talk about what trauma bonds really are, how they form, what they look like in real life, and most importantly, how to break free. What exactly is a trauma bond? In simple terms, a trauma bond is a deep emotional attachment formed through cycles of abuse, neglect, or inconsistent love. It's when your brain connects the rush of intensity with the feelings of love. You crave the person who hurts you, not because you enjoy the pain, but because your nervous system learned that love and fear come packaged together. Trauma bonds can happen in romantic relationships, family dynamics, friendships, or even a work environment. They're built through patterns of reward and punishment, kindness followed by cruelty, connection followed by withdrawal. The highs feel so euphoric and the lows feel so devastating, but that's how the hook forms. Common causes and examples are, well, let's just look at how these bonds form, because once you see the pattern, it might lose some of its power. In childhood, inconsistency. For example, growing up with a parent who was loving one moment, explosive the next. You never knew which version you were going to get. Your young brain learns to chase affection and appease conflict, confusing anxiety for connection. In emotional manipulation, it can be a partner who showers you with love when you comply, but withdraws, criticizes, or ghosts you when you assert yourself. It's that walking on eggshells feeling that's a bond tightening manipulation. Sorry, couldn't think of the word. All right, intermittent reinforcement. This is the same technique used in gambling. You don't win every time, but when you do, the high is addictive. So in relationships, it looks like after every fight, there's an intense makeup, a temporary reward that makes you forget the pain. Your brain releases dopamine and boom, you're hooked again. Through isolation and dependency, an example would be a partner who subtly cuts you off from friends or convinces you that only they really understand you. So now leaving them feels like losing your entire world because they became your entire world intentionally. False hope and ideation is a bond strengthened when you cling to the potential of the relationship rather than the reality of it. You remember the good days, not the truth of how often they hurt you. This is something that I have been dealing with a lot lately, and we've talked about it on the messengers. I think we talked about it a little bit last week too. Is when someone breaks up with you or a relationship ends, you tend to focus on all the good things that happen and the good things that they did for you, and that's all you focus on, and that makes you miss them, which makes you keep chasing, which makes you just continue in this cycle. Stop and remember the things that hurt you. As hard as that is, stop and think about all the things that they did that hurt you, because 99.9% of the time you're going to find out that you spent a lot more time in pain in that relationship or in confusion than you actually had good times. All right, so okay, so you remember the good days, not the truth, and how they often hurt you. You know they're bad for you, but you can't let go. You feel anxious when they're gone and relieved when they return, even if they're the cause of the pain. You justify or minimize their behavior to others. You take the blame just to keep the peace. You crave the fix after every emotional withdrawal. That love bombing, that putting you back on that pedestal, like an addict chasing after its first high. It's not stupidity or weakness, it's a survival mechanism. Your brain got wired to believe that instability is intimacy. Now, how do we break free from a trauma bond? It's not about one dramatic movement of empowerment, it's about slow, intentional rewiring. First, acknowledge the pattern without shame. You can't heal what you don't name. Say it plainly. This person made me believe that love had to hurt. That honesty is the first crack in the illusion. Now, go no contact or set hard boundaries. Distance is medicine. Block, mute, delete, whatever you can. If you can't cut them off completely, for example, if they're family member or co-parent, create structured bonds. Only communicate about necessary matters, no emotional engagement. Every time you resist the urge to reach out, you're teaching your nervous system that silence can be safe. Process the underlying wound. Most trauma bonds are symptoms of older wounds, abandonment, rejection, neglect, or unworthiness. Therapy, especially trauma informed and somatic approaches, journaling, and inner child work help you trace that pattern back to its root. Ask yourself, who? Number 4, rebuild your self trust. Often lose their intuition because they've been taught to doubt themselves. Take smart, small steps. Make promises to yourself to keep them. Eat when you say you will. Show up when you said you would. Each act of self consistency is emotional rehab. All right, number 5, replace any chemical addiction. Trauma bonds are addictive because of dopamine and cortisol spikes, that roller coaster of hope and fear. Replace the chaos with the new sources of dopamine that don't destroy you. No alcohol and drugs, movement, music, laughter, nature, learning. The body needs to feel safe again. 6, lean on safe relationships. Healing doesn't mean isolating forever, it means relearning what safe love feels like. Friends, chosen family, support groups, people who love you gently without conditions or volatility. Mike and I, they help you rewire your sense of belonging. 7, forgive yourself. You did not fall for a toxic person because you're broken. You were trying to heal in the only way you knew how. The goal isn't to hate them, it's to stop needing them. When you break a trauma bond, it can feel empty at first, like you've lost a piece of yourself. But that emptiness is not a void, it's space. Space for peace, space for truth, space for the kind of love that doesn't make you anxious. Remember, healing from a trauma bond is not about revenge, it's about reclaiming your nervous system. Teaching your body and soul that safety is not boring, it's sacred. And when you finally realize that love shouldn't feel like survival, that's when the real healing actually begins. So, if you're here listening now, or you're listening to this on one of the podcasts, you're caught in the back and forth dance of the pain and hope. I want you to know you are not crazy, you are not weak, and you are not beyond repair. You're just learning what real love feels like. And sometimes the first step toward it is walking away from everything that isn't real love. All right. So I will give you guys a minute to tell me whether or not you would like to hear your sort of light oracle for the day, for today, if you want one personally. I did try to pull 2 before. I tried to pull 1 before the show started, and 2 literally flew across the room. So I knew that they were definitely going to both have to be brought up today, and it turns out that they fit. But first, let me do one for me. I know she wants one. Jade, Micah, anybody else who happens to be around, if you would like one for the week, holla at me as well. Let me see. Beesh. You have nothing. Nobody has anything to say to you today. Oh, there it is. I found it. All right. Mish. This is fun. All right. You got It's Time to Play. All right. You're working entirely too hard and haven't left yourself any time for enjoyment and fun. This is not sustainable and it will leave you exhausted and burned out in the long run. This situation simply has to change. Carve out time for yourself, even if it's just a brief moment here and there for self-care and amusement. Block out times in your calendar. If you have to, whether it's 20 minutes every day, an afternoon a week, or a few days off each month. Read parts of a book you love or go for a walk somewhere that brings you joy. Find a new show, preferably a comedy, that will allow you to laugh and forget your obligations for a short time. Better still would be to take a vacation, just planning where you want to go and what you want to do, even if you don't really have the time to take off or the finances lined up quite yet. Where would you go? But for now, today, make some time for play in your life. Try to find fun in everything you do, even if it's just a little bit. If life isn't fun, then what's the point of your incarnation? All right, so the two that I pulled that came flying out for this week fit pretty well with our theme. So the first one was be honest with yourself. There are times when facing your true thoughts or emotions can be extremely difficult or even troubling. Excuse me while I get rid of the spammer in the room. Okay. All right. There are times when facing your true thoughts or emotions can be extremely difficult or even troubling. Yet it's important to recognize that you have these feelings for a reason. They are meant to guide you. Being honest with yourself means looking with a clear eye at the stories you've been telling yourself and others, along with your thoughts, emotions, and motivations. When you have this clarity, you can let go of your worries and have faith in the process, knowing that Source is in control. Knowing your truth doesn't mean that you need to go reveal all your thoughts and secrets to others right away. Some situations do call for sharing, however, and can sometimes be hard to tell what your current circumstances are dictating. Let me help. If you have feelings you wish to keep secret, ask yourself, why is that? I can guide you to find clarity by using my sword of light to sever your connections to negative stories, fears, and the past so that you can reach out and embrace the truth. I can also send you signs as little pings of emotions that you know what's real and what's not. You'll be able to make a statement to yourself and feel if it's true or not. I will need you to ask for this assistance specifically so that my actions can remain in line with your free will. Once you know your full personal truth, you can decide whether it's best to share it with others or wait for divine timing. I will support whatever you choose. All right. And the other one that popped out was don't settle for less. Never. Opportunities beyond your wildest dreams await you, but only if you allow for them to manifest. The first step in doing so is believing that they are possible. What the divine has in store for you is pure joy, expressed through the evolution of your soul. It is the embodiment of dreams come true, dreams that you don't even know you have. It's important now to get clarity on what you really want. What do you truly desire when you set aside familial pressures, cultural expectations, or anything else influencing what you think you should want? You may benefit from advice from others, but don't let anyone dictate your choices. Where I am, time has no meaning, so I can see the past, present, and the future. You have dreams for yourself, and they may seem big, but in comparison with the scope of what you can and will accomplish, they're actually rather small. I wish I could show you the details of your future. If you could see that, then for the rest of your life, you'd never settle for less than the loftiest goals. But don't worry. Like a butterfly, you will realize your fullest potential. You will transform, and there's a life full of magical experiences waiting for you. I like that for our ending for today. That was phenomenal. Be yourself and reach for the stars because you have the potential. Let go of the past, let go of the trauma bonds, let go of anything that is not serving you well, and go on and be your happy, beautiful, loving selves. Because I love you. Yes, Mish. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. All right, guys. That is all I have for today. I hope you have an amazing weekend and an amazing week. And don't forget to join Hathery tonight on Rise Radio, where she is, where Steve-O, SpongeBob Tight Pants, will be her topic of the night. I can't wait to hear that. And like I said, enjoy your week. Love yourselves because I love you. And I will see you guys soon.
Hey, this is Brindle Wolf.
And I'm Lunaria.
You're listening to Rise Awakenings, part of the Rise Radio Network where advice meets action.
We're here to spark your growth, lift your spirit, and help you crush your potential.
Rise awakening, hear the call. Through the shining, we break the wall. Your nation, your voice, where dreams awaken in time. Rise awakening, now is the time.
Rise Awakenings.